Hi, I'm going to show you today how to make some red pasta sauce that goes with any pasta, whether you're making spaghetti or whether you want lasagna, which is what I'll be making later on today. I've gone ahead and put a big can of diced tomatoes in my crock pot. You can use tomato sauce if you want, or whatever, but this is a nice, inexpensive way to do it, especially if you're cooking for a lot of people or just want to, put several pans of lasagna in your freezer. So I put the tomatoes in the crock pot, and I chopped up onions. Some of the onion I've already put in. I'd say if you put in like one onion, that's probably good, chopped onion. If you like a lot of onion, put more onion in. And then I put in the chopped garlic that comes in a jar because it's much easier to deal with. Just keep it in the fridge, keeps for a long time. Then you can use any kind of spices you want. I'm gonna, if you like it hot, put in some crushed red pepper. I don't think I'm going to put that in, but I'm going to put in some of this. It'll get your house smelling fantastic. When you cook like this, you really don't need to measure. As long as you use common sense, you get it stirred up. As it gets cooking, you taste it, you see how it is. One thing about herbs, the longer they cook, they seem to lose their flavor. So their flavor, I guess, blends in with the tomatoes. So you probably want to add a little more flavoring as it gets closer to the time that you're going to be eating. So I'm going to cook this for many hours and then come back and cook and put a few more things in. The sauce has been cooking for about 7 hours and it looks really good. I've turned it down to low. I've got to go back out. Now this sauce is pretty chunky. It's made with diced tomatoes. If you don't like it this chunky, you can either use just a small can of tomatoes in it if you like a few tomatoes, or you can just use all tomato sauce when you make this. And then of course however many onions you like, the garlic, the Italian seasoning, whatever looks good to you. But I'm going to give this a stir or two, and then I've got to head out and I'll come back later for dinner. Smells fantastic. Alright, my sauce has been simmering in this pot all day. It's like 6:30 now. I started at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And you can see this is really chunky. If you use the tomatoes, even the crushed tomatoes, it's going to come out really chunky. If you have small kids, you might be better off just using the big can of tomato sauce and just adding in however many tomatoes you think your kids are going to eat. I don't have that problem right now. People unwilling to eat chunky tomatoes. And also, if you're used to jarred sauce, it has sugar in it. Things like this do have a small amount of sugar in it, but I'm going to add some of this and some sugar in it to make it taste good. And I would say flavor it to taste, or about, I think I used about 1/4 of a cup of that in with this number 10 can of tomatoes and onions and garlic, and I'm going to stir it around. You'll also notice that that it's not the right consistency. So what I've done is I put some cornstarch in a bowl, 2 heaping tablespoons of cornstarch, and I put some water in. Obviously I need some more water. So I get the cornstarch mixed up with the water. Cornstarch has some interesting properties. I'm going to get it all mixed in. You definitely want to get this mixed before you put it in, because if you put it in and you have a clump of cornstarch, that could be a really weird experience. But I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to get some pasta cooking here. I decided I'm going to go with like a baked penne tonight. Mix this in good. If you find that it's not as thick as you want still, you can always add more cornstarch mixed with water. And I'm going to make the lasagna tomorrow. The great thing about making this sauce is it'll be just fine to do whatever other pastas you want in days to come. And also with my baked pasta, I think I want more of the tomatoes in there, so I'm going to skim off more of the chunkiness and put that on top of my pasta and then put it in the oven with cheese and mushrooms and whatever I want, pepperoni on top. Alright, I've cooked and drained the pasta. I've taken a little dish, sprayed it with some non-stick. I'm going to put some of the hot pasta, about enough to cover the bottom of my dish. Just a little more because pasta is so delicious. And I'm going to put some of these tomatoes, onions, no, I don't have any peppers in there yet, garlic. Seasoned to taste with Italian seasoning. A little bit of sugar. Get it in there. Then cheese. And use whatever toppings you like. If you like cheese, put cheese on. If you don't like cheese, I like peppers, washed, cut, put them on to it's at 350. Surprised it hasn't beeped. There. Alright, I think my pasta's about ready to come out of the oven. I ate my salad. I was hungry, and the perfect thing to go with this is garlic naan, Trader Joe's tandoori garlic naan flatbread. Yeah, it sounds Indian, but it tastes Italian with a little bit of that garlic in there. It's delicious. Oh, and man, this smells good. So, just kind of looks delicious. Too hot to eat though. I'm going to let it cool a little bit and then I'm going to eat it.